Hello, 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 hello. This is Kristen Codes. I'm coding every day until I become a web developer. And I was supposed to record this video earlier, but we're recording it now because I want to start doing a minimum of 2 hour plus videos. So like 2 to 3 hour videos every day. Because we gotta, I don't know what this means, what I'm doing with my hands right here, but it's supposed to mean it's time to get down to business. It's time to study harder. It's time to do more, if you will. So I'm going to split this up. When I do start doing the 2 hour things, I want to do an hour and 30 minutes of a project, 30 minutes of studying new JavaScript stuff. When I do the 3 hour streams, is going to be 2 hours worth of project, 1 hour worth of learning new JavaScript concepts. So why don't we begin? And where we left off. Let's see where we left off. Yesterday we were learning JavaScript things. We were learning how to fetch things. And my goodness, that was some people have been asking some questions in the comments. They have been asking, am I learning alone or with the community? I am learning alone. I don't know if you watched some of my videos from last week, but I have decided to not join any communities. But instead, the community that I'm a part of is the community right here on this channel, and the people who message me on Discord, and the people who are in my Discord server. But I will not be a part of any web development or web design servers unless it is the front end mentor server. I am in there. And I have made that decision last week after a series of fortunate and unfortunate events. I am a strong believer in staying in your own lane, and my unsolicited advice to everyone who's watching this, if you have issues going on in your life, it is really, really great to stay in your own lane. And that means do what you need to do and cut out all the noise. Cut out all the noise. Because let me tell you, these human beings, some of them, I'm telling you, it's on some FAFO type stuff. Just be careful out there. All right, so last time, I think what I did was, if I run get quiz data, it should return a promise. Yeah. So I think what I did right here, yeah, so we put all the stuff in there. So it is a quizzes array. I hope it's an array. It looks like an array. Let's check. CLG type of JSON container. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. What's going on? Cannot access JSON container before initialization. Oh. Boop, boop. That's weird. Why JSON container? Let JSON container. Oh. Let's put that right there. Put that right there. Undefined. Okay. That's weird. So what if I do undefined? Because I think it does. I think it's the way that the fetch API and everything works. Yeah. What if I do something like this? You know what? We're just gonna put this over here. We're gonna move on with our lives. Because I'm getting too much into the weeds. Okay, so what we want is so that when we click one of these, it will bring us to the first quiz. So if we do HTML, it'll bring us to, oh man, I'm all huge on the screen and stuff. Put me right here. Put me right here. Or right where, I don't know where to put me. I'll put me right here. Right there. All right. Okay, so what we want is to be able to click this and then things happen. That's important. Right card dot add event listener category dot state e dot target dot id. So if I press that and I go to category state, JS equals true. If I do this, then accessibility should be true. Oh. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, and the function, when that happens, I want, so we already got that. So my goal is, so again, when I click this, it'll go to a completely new screen. So why don't we, did we get the left and the right card? Let's get the left card. Const left card equal document dot query selector left card. So we have our left card. And now so when we press that, we want to hide left info. So I want to add hidden to left info. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep that hidden for now. Then we're gonna come back and change that. So this is the right card. Oh no, this is the left card. On the right card, we have right info. We have left info. So let's see. Why don't we just grab those? Const left info equal left car dot query selector left info const right info equal right car dot query selector dot right info. Okay, and when we change the state on state change, so when we click one of these things, we do a category.state. Why don't we create another one? And we're gonna call this one why don't we call this active state? Function, and this is going to return which one is true. So for states in this, if states, no, if, can I say this? Oh yeah, if this states return states. So right here, if I do category state dot active state, and I press this, oh. Why does it say it's not a function? Active state is not a function? Okay, there we go. It was because of this right here. All right, that makes sense. Hmm. What is going on? All right, anyway. Okay, so that works. So now we can get the current active state from that. Okay, so that works. So when we do that, I need a way to change this whole layout. So I guess, should I do that in the quiz tracker? Calling an object in another object. Should I do something like that? I think that's bad practice to call an object in another object or something like that. Like, I don't think I should do something like quiz tracker dot whatever. I should pass quiz tracker into. So we click this, it changes the current active state to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or accessibility, and then we need to alter the right info and the left info. Why don't we create a function that so let me think about this. So where would I put this piece of functionality? Where would I put it? So I click this, category state changes the state, right? Checks one of these. And then the quiz tracker, should I get the quiz tracker to change what the screen looks like? Okay, let's try it. Okay, so that works. So now we just need this to, we need to create a function in the quiz tracker that will basically keep track of everything. I feel like the left and right side. So why don't we create a certain type of template for that? So let's add hidden to both of these. Close the info, and just have the left card open. And on that side, what we want is, do I need to open up Figma? Yeah, tell me what I want, what I really want. If you wanna be my lover, first you gotta be my friend. Na 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 na. Tell me what you want, what you really really want. I'ma tell you what I want, what I really really want. So we have this up here, but we got this right here. And on this side, we need it to be shaped like this. So we can really copy everything from left info and right card. So we're gonna say div.left quiz. And on the left quiz, we're gonna have, we're going to have this part. So we need a div for, do we need a div for that? No, we don't need a div for that. Hold up, don't I already have that over here? I think it's called, we did left info, not left card, right? Yeah. Okay. So then this should be showing. Oh. Yay. So that should say question 0 of 0. And that's going to be some lorem text, right? And then we're supposed to have the slider. We're going to get that working in a second. So now for the right side. I think that's right. And all right, I think that's how. So we got left quiz. We got this div, which is so this is the current state, the state icon, total questions, current score, current question answer. Then do we need current questions? Oh no, what's happening? It was working at first. What happened? With the left card, oh, it's probably taking up the full width because there's nothing on the other side. That makes sense. All right. Why don't we just copy left quiz? Oh, that's not right. That's weird because it was just working. I think I should just Yeah, that makes no sense. Why is it the full width? That's not right. Hmm. Why is it pushing it off like that? Oh my god, what is going on? All right. Oh my God. That is annoying. Okay. Anyway, all right. So let's set this up. Now that we're back on track, um, I think I deleted. Yeah, I deleted the thing that I needed that I already had set up. Oh, okay, we can do it again. And we're gonna have an input slider. So let's go to the next one. All right, let's see how I'm gonna do this. Probably in a div. All right. And let's see what the border radius on this is. 8 pixel. And there needs to be a third. Needs to be a button. I wonder, can I just put a button in the UL? Okay. Hmm. Is this really purple 600? It doesn't look like purple 600. Oops. Hold on, where am I? Oh, submit. We will fix that later. Okay. So now what we need to do is make sure that the JSON, when we click here, the category, the quiz tracker updates its current questions and total questions. Let's see. So Can I do that? I bet that's a horrible thing to do. I bet this is a horrible thing to do. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I bet that's something you're not supposed to do. I bet that is pretty messed up. But I'm gonna do it. I don't think I can do this dot state now. I can't do this dot state. Yeah, I can't because That looks wrong. Then we need to grab A, B, C, and D. Let's just put them somewhere. So if it equals the state, we want to get all the questions. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need to put this in a variable. This is gonna have to be better. Um, but we have reached the hour and 30-minute mark. So now let's see. We're gonna push this. You know, I realized that there's something I should make to make JSON easier to work with. And I think I'm going to write it down. I think I'm gonna write it down. Okay, so this is gonna be a portfolio project. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'm gonna put it in the box. Um, but it does have to do with JSON. Okay, let's go ahead and push. Just gonna do that. Let's check the green square. And we got our green square. Yay! All right, now that that is finished, let me check on something. I don't know if I can show it on screen because I found out that Udemy courses are under copyright. So let's see. Actually, you know what? We can just talk about stuff. Yeah, let's talk about stuff. There was something I was thinking about the other day. There was something I was thinking about the other day, and I hope I can remember it because I was literally thinking about it, and I think I'm gonna make a whole video about it. Um, but I was thinking about how, during the pandemic, I did a lot of soul searching, and I was always into game development, like a lot of people who are into web dev or codey, programmy, techie type things. And I was in a game development Discord, and in that Discord during that time, Facebook Meta, they were really pushing. Um, they were really, really, really pushing the VR stuff, the Oculus. I don't know if they had already acquired Oculus or maybe they acquired Oculus during the pandemic. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, I think they had already acquired them. They were coming out with the Oculus 2 and they were really pushing the metaverse. And during that time, people were getting extremely hyped. The articles were out there, the funding was there. Let me find this article before I continue. Okay. Okay, so I found the article before I even go to the article. Let me force dark mode on this thing. Before I even go to the article, I'm going to tell you what I told those people in that Discord. I bought an Oculus Quest 2. I used it. I felt it on my skull. I played games on it. And after playing games on it and hearing the hype, I went into the Discord and gave my opinion. My opinion was that VR will get where it needs to be way in the future, maybe 20 years from that point. Maybe 20 years from the pandemic, it will be where it needs to be. But as of right now, it's not. Plus, here's the big plus: it doesn't have a cult hit that's moving the culture, right? When Pokemon came out, it pushed. It got people involved. It got people absorbed. Okay, to where the brand has been built up so much that when Pokemon Go came out, it was like a version of VR, right? It was probably our first mixed reality VR experience where it was like there was this physical world and then there was this virtual world where we were collecting Pokemon and battling, and you know it was like a layer on top of the world, and it was successful, and it still is successful. Um, I said that VR was not gonna work. It just doesn't have that hit yet. It just doesn't. And when I tell you I was called everything but a child of God in that Discord, I mean people pulled out article after article after article, peer reviewed this, peer reviewed that, and I kept saying it. I don't think this is gonna work. Years and years later, let me pull up the article by Forbes. Meta's metaverse pivot signals broader industry transformation. When Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced he would rename the company Meta to reflect his $10 billion investment in metaverse, I went on record saying it was a big mistake. At the time, I had been doing a lot of research on the concept of metaverse, especially XR and AR, and had tested a few VR headsets. While I understood that the concept of VR could be groundbreaking, I saw it as more of a niche. So it was no surprise to me when Meta reported plans to slash its metaverse division's budget by up to 30%. It's a clear signal of the tectonic shift happening across technology landscape as companies realign their strategies around artificial intelligence. VR is not where it needs to be yet. There's two things that it needs. One, ease of use. The headset is too damn clunky, right? The headset is too damn clunky. The fact that it's this close to my eyeballs and I still have to wear lenses to see correctly into it makes me feel a little weird. You know what I mean? I'm not an optometrist. I don't understand physics. So maybe I'm not understanding all the nuances of why I actually need glasses with it. I'm pretty sure somebody can explain why. But the whole point that I'm trying to make is that I have to strap this huge thing to my head, move around, and by the end of it, my ears feel weird, my head is feeling weird. It's just too much going on. So if I could put it on and take it off like I put on these glasses, or like it could be a slightly bigger, or if it becomes something like this, that will be a game changer. That, and if it could be at least 50% smaller than what we're seeing now, because it's like this much coming off of your head, right? Like if we could see a 50% decrease in size, I think we'll get somewhere. I think I actually, that would be perfect. That would be the first step into getting, and to bring the price down a little bit. Once we get the price down and we make it about 50% smaller, we're good. Um, and it needs that big hit. It needs that big hit. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna have to be something that is a remix of something we've already done. Based on what I've seen, these IPs, I don't know if they're going to be as popular 20 years down the line. I think we are slowly getting out of the age of remixing everything from the 80s and the 70s and the 90s. And we're going to start looking for something new. It's going to have to be something completely different. My prediction is that we are in an age of companies creating the platform and people creating the content. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, we are entertaining ourselves. And we do it very well. So, it will have to be Roblox, but not Roblox. It will have to be a platform in which people can create experiences. And they will take those experiences and they will make money off of them, and there will be a whole world that's layered over this world, right? It'll be a hit. It'll be amazing if it is executed correctly, if it is approachable. But first, that headset needs to be more approachable when it comes to the physicality and when it comes to the money, right? Now, I predict that once we get it 50% smaller, even 75% smaller, we'll be out of this recession that we're going through right now. I don't know how long this is going to last. The last recession we had, or the last major economic downturn we had, was in 2008, 2009 housing crisis. I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm hoping it doesn't last too long, and I don't know if we ever healed from the 2008 and 2009 housing crisis, economic downturn, whatever you want to call it. But, things go down, then things get back up, and hopefully by that time things are up and people can afford the headset. But as far as I'm concerned, that investment into VR was good at the time. And I'm starting to see that Facebook, they're kind of like trend hoppers. Like they're gonna jump on the next hot trend because Facebook is not where it's at, and they all the companies want to stay competitive and up to date. So AI is the big thing, but here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. Here's why I said all of this. I forgot. Here's the big thing. It was never about VR. This is what it's about. AI is not good enough yet. AI doesn't do anything super duper amazingly special yet. It creates we're in the red letter, red velvet, red eyeglasses, tinted lenses phase, the honeymoon phase of it all. Not too long ago, it couldn't even create hands, and it was creating eyeballs where there shouldn't be eyeballs. And now it's a lot better. Now it's like we have to double take on, oh, is this AI or not? So it is improving. But it's video, right? Video creation. It can do some of your homework. It can code, right? It can create pretty pictures. It can do all this type of stuff. But how long will people be entertained by that? You know what I mean? How long will people, because I think the hype is here and everybody's using it. I was going into certain discourse, and I think there was a guy who was challenging me. He was like, let's see who can create a app faster just by prompting in AI. It was like a battle that he likes to do. And I was like, nah, I'm not into that. I'm really not. I predict that there's a lot of investment going on into AI, but it's not going to work out. It's going to crash. It's going to exacerbate our economic situation. Eventually, we will heal from it. However, going from not being able to trust banks to not being able to trust tech corporations, that is a scary dystopian ass jump. And now we know we can't really trust leadership too much. I won't go too far into it, but that's a scary world. But what I'm thinking is that it's going to exacerbate the economic collapse. Eventually the country will heal from it. AI will be something that we use daily, but in a different form. But it will not be as popular as everybody thinks it should be. It just won't. It will not. AI will hit when AI hits the point where, I don't know if y'all remember, y'all probably too young, or some of y'all are around my age, y'all remember the Palm Pilots or the Blackberries or something. Once it gets to the point where artificial intelligence is not hallucinating, it's not just based off of things that it copied from the internet, but it's actually reasoning, and you can have that in a device, that will be the shift. That will be the first step. But as of right now, everybody is so hype about it. It's just not going to work now. In the future, it will be. In the future, it will be a force to be reckoned with. But right now, no sirree, Bob. And all the money that's being invested into it, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hit it rich. And then eventually that money is going to slow down and crash. And I'm telling you, people are going to be in those hearings getting questioned by people in different hearings saying, well, why did you do this and why did you do that? It's going to be a big theatric show. And then eventually there's going to be money given to this sector so that, the economy doesn't fall out. Happens all the time. But when I was a kid, when there was a new game that would come out or a new system about to come out, I would get on that hype train. right? I'll get so excited. And a lot of the times, back then my excitement was rewarded. But nowadays, it feels like the excitement is there so that they don't experience a loss on a product that's probably not up to par. Advertising isn't, the hype isn't real. And I don't know if I've done this justice. I want to expound on this more in a separate video. But we are going to, I promise you, we're going to enter a world where people are going to actively seek out platforms that don't use AI. They're going to actively seek out products that don't use AI. They're going to actively seek out human-made products. What's scary is that I was in the VA the other day, and I overheard. I was listening to something, and I heard a cadence hit my eardrum, and I looked to the left, and I heard it better. And it was an elderly man, an older veteran. He was watching an AI video, and I wonder, does he know that it's AI? I wish I would have went up to him and asked him, does he know that it's AI? And would that have changed how he felt about it? I think maybe in the moment he would have been like, what? But then maybe later he would have just watched it, because maybe he can't really tell the difference. Maybe he's not even looking for the difference. But yeah, I don't know. But it is getting a little scary out there. It is getting a little frightening out there. And I think that it is always going to be dangerous when we choose power and money over people. And that's what we're seeing right now. People are choosing power and money over the well-being of their countrymen and countrywomen for the sake of money, for the sake of power, for the sake of influence and attention. I don't want to get on my high horse, but it's not going to last. I don't believe it's going to last. I do not. And I pray for all the younger people, younger than me, who are learning how to code, but that is being augmented by AI, by machine learning to a degree where they can't program or code or even understand documentation without the assistance of AI. So that's my TED Talk for today. That's all I gotta say to y'all. I will continue to not use AI unless it's for making word problems. My prediction is that just like VR, this bubble will pop. And eventually people will realize that AI isn't that great. And that they would rather do something else with their time. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. You have a great one.